You'll find your name when you Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the close of another engaging and transformative academic year. I know, it's hard to get settled. It's nice to see colleagues. My name is Sharon Anthony, and I'm the Germantown Campus Dean, and I'm so pleased to have you join us on this beautiful Germantown campus, even in the rain, and to stream us live online. So thank you. Thanks to all of you for teaching and mentoring our students. Thank you for your tutoring, your coaching, your library and learning center services, and your lab support. Thank you so much for facilitating life-enriching activities, events, workshops, and programs to broaden our students' perspectives and their networks. Thanks, too, for ensuring our students and employees learn and work in beautiful, clean, and safe spaces. And thanks for establishing and strengthening MC's relationships with our community's industries, schools, and leaders. Montgomery College's special ability to boldly transform lives is a direct result of your efforts, your energy, and your enthusiasm. In my new role this year, I have been gifted with the opportunity to recognize how each of you uniquely contributes to MC's mission and makes our magic happen right here. I am humbled and honored to work alongside such great colleagues. We are here today to celebrate your excellence and the way each of us is a part of that outstanding and richly interwoven Montgomery College tapestry. This morning we have the privilege of celebrating our many accomplishments, the exceptional work of colleagues, and the magnificent feats achieved by teams of employees working together. Before we get to the award celebration, I would like to especially thank Dr. Clavette Ridgard and the Planning Committee, Stacy Miller and her hardworking special events team, our very talented MCTV crew, our amazing media resource and IT specialists, the wonderful Germantown facilities team, and our 24/7, 365 public safety officers who assist us today and every day. And now, yes. Thank you all. So, in recognition of how we spent the 2024-2025 academic year making a difference in the lives of our students and their families, let's give ourselves a hand for a great job. So now let the celebration begin by joining me in welcoming our visionary college president, Dr. Jermaine Williams, to the stage.
All right. Good morning, everybody. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. First things first, let's get to it. That picture is not going to be there the entire time I'm talking. I promise it will change. It is great to see everyone. Let's give Ms. Sharon Anthony another round of applause, please. Awesome, awesome. And truly, truly, it is just absolutely fantastic to see everyone. Thank you for braving the weather, specifically the rain, because there's always weather. The weather today happens to be rain. It's kind of like traffic. There's always traffic, just sometimes it's heavier than other times. But thank you for being here. It's really good to see everyone. And we've had a phenomenal year at Montgomery College. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. I am just truly humbled and overjoyed to be able to celebrate the phenomenal year that we've had, and I'm proud to reflect on the accomplishments that we have kind of acquired and pursued and acquired together as we focused on our transformational aspirations of access, completion, and post-completion success, and our strategic plan goals. When I think about this year and all that we've really gone through together, it's been an interesting year, right? It's been, I see heads nodding, I see kind of smiles. It's been a year when I think about one of our biggest achievements in a world where so many individuals and organizations were changing. One of our biggest achievements was to remain solidly unwavering in our values and purpose in a year when assaults on the democratic ideals of our nation were just omnipresent, right? And quite harrowing at times. So let's give ourselves a round of applause. So in particular, when I think about attacks on the values and traditions that shape higher education that have been under intense scrutiny and even duress, the college has met those pressures head on by reaffirming our values and commitments. Values and commitments like academic freedom, civil dialogue across difference, freedom of speech, and leading with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have continued to communicate with our students, faculty, and staff that we stand for the values and traditions that we have always embraced. Right? And I've said it before, we value our tradition and recognize our tradition, and we value and recognize our trajectory, which is steeped in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Throughout this time, we have supported displaced federal workers with job fairs, career coaching, and resume reviews, serving our communities in needs for decades, right? We have set up a website with resources to inform our community about ongoing executive orders and their relevance to our mission. We have shared our commitment widely at meetings with the executive and legislative branches of the county, with state and U.S. House and Senate representatives, and by signing on to statements by multiple professional organizations. We have continued our search for a new Vice President for Inclusive Excellence and Belonging to ensure that we cultivate belonging, as is stated as one of our goals in our strategic plan. This new role underscores an expanded commitment to a college climate where every individual can thrive. As I shared in January, our new name, the Office of Inclusive Excellence and Belonging, captures the office's evolving mission to deepen community connections, foster inclusivity, and strengthen equity for all. In a year where national conversations were often divisive, far, far too divisive, we stayed focused on our mission to be a place where students discover their passions and unlock their potential to transform lives, enrich the community, and change the world. So that's just an intro. My remarks today are going to be about that drive that we have, that mission that we have, right? That is buttressed by our strategic plan, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit today about how we're advancing our strategic plan goals. And as I share some of this year's accomplishments, you will see how they fit squarely into the goals we crafted and the intended outcomes we seek. Right? Our progress is impressive. And along with our commitments and true to our word, this is when you will see different visuals on the PowerPoint. So, by scaling up our outreach efforts in the community, we are raising awareness of the academic, cultural, and civic opportunities available at the college, which ultimately will enhance access to education. One of the major milestones this year was the first anniversary of the East County Education Center. Let's give it a round of applause. More than 1,500 students have benefited from programs and services at this new site, which is already, which benefited from programs and services from this new site, which is already becoming a trusted anchor in our community. This speaks to the educational offerings and the scheduling and so many more individuals who are behind this effort. Additionally, more than 40 recruitment events were held, welcoming thousands of residents and offering meaningful experiences, from job fairs and health fairs to workshops on resume writing, leadership, and financial planning. These are more than events. They're pathways to opportunity. And when we think about opportunity, one of the things we think about are, connection. Right? East County Education Center has provided that connection. And speaking of connection, this year we leaned into outreach in exciting ways. Right? Our Worlds of Work and MC Experience events welcomed more than 5,500 eighth grade students to our campuses just in 3 days. 5,500 eighth grade students in just more than 3 days. These young learners explored careers, interacted with employers, and started to see higher education as part of their future. We're planting seeds for a college-going culture that begins early and sticks. Right? One of the indicators clearly impacted here is the expansion of collaborations with county students who are in elementary and middle school. Another highlight we have this year was hosting the Supreme Court of Maryland on campus for oral arguments. Right? This is like a really big deal. They don't just show up at your living room, right? So this is the Supreme Court of Maryland's oral arguments on our Rockville campus. Students from criminal justice, political science, world language, business law, paralegal studies came away with a deeper understanding and real inspiration. And when I say students, when I think about the individuals who coordinated, managed, and executed this event, we're talking about some 450 students, 100 from Montgomery College and 350 from Montgomery County Public Schools, right? They watched the appellate process live. I mean, think about that. They watched the appellate process live. This is not just experiential learning. It's a front row seat to democracy in action. And when we think about that, we think about the impact of experiential learning. We think about the power of those types of engagement opportunities. We know that experiential learning continues to be one of our greatest strengths. As we heard at the April Town Hall, our faculty are helping students go beyond course materials and into the world. And one of the most meaningful gifts of the year came from Craig and Pat Rupert, who pledged $1 million to support early childhood education through the Montgomery College Foundation. This is an amazing gift. When we think about this, their gift will expand scholarships and provide bilingual coaching through the Achieving the Promise Academy, helping future educators earn credentials and family-sustaining wages. Unique partnerships with local agencies and nonprofits make this possible. Right? Take Professor Kirsten Newtoff, right, who joined, and you heard me talk about her in other places and spaces, who joined the NOAA's Teacher at Sea program, spending 21 days, right, aboard the Pisces ship, gathering data on marine mammals, turtles and seabirds. She's already using the experience to create lesson plans that bring marine biology to life in our classrooms. Enhancing connections ultimately raises awareness of the academic, cultural, and civic opportunities available at the college and enhances access to education. Our second strategic plan goal is to cultivate a sense of belonging for everyone at the college. Talked about this a little bit earlier. This year, we reaffirmed our commitment to our mission. We saw assaults on the values we hold deeply as institutions of post-secondary education, as a community college sector, and as Montgomery College. We know that belonging is a key factor in student success. That's why we continue to create spaces and experiences where students feel seen, respected, and supported. In order to further foster linguistic belonging, this year, Montgomery College Television launched its first Spanish language podcast. Let's give a round of applause. First Spanish language podcast. Eleva tu futuro, featuring powerful stories from Latinos who advance their futures through education, entrepreneurship, and service. More than 2,000 individuals have engaged with the series, and it's building bridges and visibility across our diverse communities we serve. Our Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander events in April celebrated heritage and history, drawing vibrant crowds. The Latina Legacy Conferences welcome more than 1,000 high school students to our sites in the fall, introducing these students to college life and connecting them with mentors and role models. Our Presidential Scholars Program celebrated the advancement of talented students committed to excellence and increased the number of students being served. Creating belonging also means investing in basic needs. Since September, our mobile markets have distributed more than 94,000 pounds of food. 94,000 pounds of food across 19 events. Our food pantry stayed active. Our student health center partnered with local nonprofits to offer free and confidential healthcare services, everything from physicals to counseling. By expanding focused, equitable student support for our diverse students, these services create a sense of care, dignity, and inclusion, right, that students carry with them at Montgomery College and beyond. Even further, we opened a stunning renovated library on our Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus. Round of applause. Complete with quiet zones, group spaces, tech resources, textbooks, and so much more. We're also working to make all locations more family-friendly, with spaces that support student parents who are balancing coursework and caregiving. A new professional development curriculum will launch this fall to help faculty and staff support parenting students more effectively, and I thank everyone who has contributed to that curriculum. One of the most powerful examples of creating a sense of belonging was the college's response, as I mentioned briefly earlier, to support displaced federal workers. Yeah. That's a round of applause. Yeah. MC built a webpage of resources, organized job fairs, and partnered with Chambers of Commerce, WorkSource Montgomery, and the Maryland Department of Labor, highlighting credit for prior learning and short-term credentials that lead to in-demand, high-wage jobs and more. Our response was swift, collaborative, and full of heart. It informed and in some instances reminded those workers and our community that Montgomery College is a place for reinvention and growth, and that we strive to create a sense of belonging for all. We also move forward with our Middle States Commission on Higher Education reaccreditation process. Say that 3 times fast. This steering committee is active, our self-study design is complete, and a successful liaison visit occurred in April. This process helps us reflect, strengthen, and chart a course for continuous improvement through 2027 and beyond. Let's give everyone who's currently involved with our reaccreditation process a round of applause. Our third strategic plan goal is to enhance educational and organizational effectiveness, as we are dedicated to continuous learning. By streamlining processes, expanding the use of data, and innovating with high-impact teaching, we are moving toward this goal. Increased technology efficiency and more data-informed decisions this year allowed us to enhance educational and organizational effectiveness. More than 20,000 welcome calls were made to new credit applicants, leading to a 10% increase in MyMC account claims, and a targeted call campaign helped lower barriers faced by adult students. That's a round, 20,000 welcome calls. That's a round of applause. The full adoption of Starfish in the fall empowered us all to support advising and counseling of students throughout their academic pathways. Critical first semester advising resulted in a 96% of 2024 first time ever in college students at Montgomery College having activated their degree plans in Starfish. 94%. College Advising Day in November served 1,200 students with improvements focused on consistent advising across all locations. And I'll slow down, the incredible, absolutely minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, week to week commitment, the incredible commitment of our faculty and staff lifts all of this progress. It was a round of applause to our dedicated faculty and staff. In every learning space, in every counseling center, on every athletic field, and in so many other places and spaces at this great institution, you seek to drive transformation. The Extend the Time to Complete initiative, led by English professor Charmaine Weston, helped more than 60% of students complete English coursework between semesters, saving them more than $100,000. This program was recognized nationally by the American Association of Community Colleges. Yeah, yes, nationally. This is a terrific example of strategies that are data-informed and enable students to excel. The college also won the 2025 Aleutian Impact Award for Institutional Agility, along with a $25,000 check. Oh, yeah. And this was for our use of technology to solve challenges and to improve the student experience. Right? This is absolutely amazing, amazing work that will occur. Right? And if I've said anything, and if you've seen anything today, please take this. We will not stop. We will continue. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the slides are rolling. It doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter where we are. We will keep it moving. We will do what we do because we are Montgomery College. Which brings me to our final goal, our fourth goal in our strategic plan, and that is to increase economic impact for our students and our community. On the economic front, we've seen strong progress. Enrollment is up 8% over last spring. A clear sign, yes, yeah. A clear sign that students see the value in what we offer, and that a lot of people are working really hard to ensure they see that value. We launched new forward-thinking programs like registered apprenticeships in biotechnology and the Cyber Workforce Accelerator. And our cybersecurity teams earned both first and second place in the Community College Division of the 2025 Mid-Atlantic Regional Two-Year College Cyber Defense Competition. That, folks, is MC Excellence on full display, working to fulfill in-demand workforce needs. We also finalized a transfer agreement with the University of Maine at Farmington that allows MC biotechnology students to earn, graduates of course, to earn bachelor's degrees in biology without leaving the county. Right? That's access in action. And it's how we meet industry demands while serving our local community. Another transfer agreement this year was made with Marymount University. We've established a new institutional enrollment agreement with this private Hispanic serving institution in Virginia to enhance students' transfer experience. Right? This includes comprehensive advising resources, guaranteed scholarships, and joint educational events. Yeah. We think about impact, and the economic case for higher ed remains strong. Right? Lightcast modeling shows that students earn $4.70 for every dollar invested in their education. Montgomery College students. Right? In FY23 alone, Montgomery College contributed $1.4 billion with a B dollars to the county's economy. $1.4 billion. We're not just educating, we're fueling growth and opportunity. And as we think about that, we think about growth and opportunity, I'm going to close on some final achievements. Our student achievements, our students, the great students who are with us, the ones who are listening, the ones who will support in a few days as we do every day, and the awesome faculty and staff who ensure that they're able to have these achievements. So very grateful. Our students' achievements remind us how important our work is. Montgomery College accounts for a little more than 23% of all Maryland community college students who transfer to any University of System Maryland institution. Almost 1 in 4 of those transfer students are coming from Montgomery College, which makes the college a major contributor to both the 2-year sector and the 4-year sectors, right, in the state, and speaks powerfully to economic impact. Academic excellence is part of that formula, preparing students for even more opportunity and for post-completion success. I think about Iman Saki, earned national recognition as a Silver Scholar on the Coca-Cola academic team. Let's give her a round of applause. I think about the 10 MC students who were named Jack Kent Cook semifinalists, and the 2 winners, Danae Samantha Flores-Tene and Rodin Ruiz, were announced. 10 semifinalists, 2 award winners. That's 2 of 90, in case folks didn't know. It's a round of applause. This year, we celebrated our first Goldwater Scholar, Madeline Sonens, who has been accepted to Columbia University. And former student Luis Mata Lopez, another Goldwater Scholar this year, continues to show what's possible with an MC foundation. 3 of our students earned awards at the Maryland Collegiate Honors Council Conference. Our Macklin Business Institute students took multiple honors at the International Business Ethics Case Competition in San Francisco, where MC was the only 2-year college represented. And 17 performing arts students traveled to Pittsburgh for the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival, competing with peers from 80 institutions. Their performances in acting, design, and tech wowed the judges and audiences alike. Yeah. And it goes on and on and on, but I'm coming to a close. I know you want me to continue. You're like, wait, close yet? No, come on. Keep the party going. Come on. But I think about, and as I close with a few additional words, I think about this year's innovation grant winners, right? Guided by insights from our faculty and staff. They're diving into new approaches to pedagogy and student support. More than half of the submissions were from students this year, and all of the awarded grants related to student scholarships and programs that directly funded student projects, right? Awesome. These ideas will help us scale what works and better serve students even more effectively. We think about our students and how many people have seen the tent? You know, I don't have to go any further to the tent, right? Raise your hands, tent. All right. For those of you who have not seen the tent, it's amazing. You need to go see it immediately after this session. All right. This Friday, in something that really shouldn't be called a tent, because it's a magnificent structure it's beautiful. This Friday, more than 3,100 students will graduate. More than 3,100 students will graduate. And we'll award almost 3,400 certificates and degrees. Yeah. These outcomes reflect the power of our shared work, our focus on access and completion, and our belief that everyone deserves post-completion success. In closing, I I want to say very simply, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your collaboration. Thank you for everything that you bring to this work every single day. Your energy truly moves mountains. Right? Our students thrive because you make Montgomery College a place of bold transformation. They thrive because the work that you do truly advances our transformational aspirations of access, completion, and post-completion success, and our strategic plan goals. Our community thrives because of your leadership, your heart, your belief that Montgomery College can create opportunities of economic, social, and community impact, opportunities that lead to upward individual, economic, and social mobility, right? That lead to intergenerational mobility. Opportunities that are truly transformational. That is the work that you do day in and day out. That is the work that I and so many others are grateful for. I'm so deeply thankful. As we head, let's give yourselves a round of applause, please. So I end on an ask and a statement. As we head into summer, please take time for yourselves. And you can replace summer with whatever is your downtime. Summer's not everyone's downtime. I recognize that. We're all the time going. But whatever it is your downtime, please take care of yourselves. I don't really care what you do. I don't care. I care about you, but I don't care what you do to re-energize, whether that's reading a book, whether that's, you plant things, you transplant things. I had some transplanting experience earlier. You have kids, you have pets, you travel, but whatever it is you do to reconnect and kind of re-energize, please do that. Find, as I say, your place of peace. If you haven't found it, please find it immediately and visit it as frequently as you need to, right? To be the best individual that you can be, right? Personally and professionally. And the statement that I will leave you with is, it's an absolute honor. It is, I'm overjoyed and truly humbled day in and day out to be able to serve with all of you here and everyone who is not here, to be able to work towards the impact that we seek. It's an absolute honor. So please, let's continue to do what we do at Montgomery College. Let's continue to change lives. Let's continue to be bold. Let's continue to be transformational. Let's continue to lean on each other. Let's continue to look towards the future, because we know the future is bright when we're together, and we know what the future can be if we continue to work together. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Anika Balur. I'm a dual enrollment student, and I'll be graduating from both Clarksburg High School and MC on Friday with my associate's degree. My major... I'm a biological science major, and some of the things I was involved with during my time at MC was MC Leads. I was a student senator at Germantown SGA, and I was also the vice chair of student council. My favorite memory at MC was during SGA, we had a toy drive where we accumulated over 40 to 50 gifts for students in need around Christmas time. And when we were calling elementary schools to see if any kids needed the gifts, it was insane, because one of the counselors called me back and said that same week the donors who were supposed to give the gifts canceled, and they were really nervous that some kids would not get gifts. And when we came, we got to see that the smile on those kids' faces when they saw the gifts, and it's something that will stick with me forever, because it's one thing to do good, and it's one thing, like, I got to physically see for the first time the good I did, and it was something that will stick with me forever. And this cycle, I was accepted into 10 schools and accumulated over $80,000 in scholarships. And some of the schools I was accepted to were Northeastern University, University of Pittsburgh, and University of Rochester. And I'll be attending Nova Southeastern University in Florida, pursuing a pre-med track. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Varshana Ramran. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk. I am going to graduate with my associate's degree in criminal justice. During my time at MC, I was able to be a part of the 2-year full scholarship program called the Montgomery Scholars. I was part of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. I had the opportunity to write a bench memo with Professor Ginger Robinson for the Maryland Supreme Court's visit to MC. I was also able to have lunch with the justices, which was an amazing opportunity. And I had an internship with the DC Superior Courthouse through DC Witness, and I was part of the Montgomery College Volleyball Club. My favorite MC memory would have to be with the Montgomery Scholars, where I made lifelong friendships, and I had support from teachers that have been an undeniable part of my current success. I also gained a desire to educate myself, take a stance with that education, and attempt to make a difference with that education. After MC, I am proud to say that I will be spending a year in Germany on a full scholarship with the Congress Bundestag Youth Exchange Program for youth professionals. Which is a 3-part program in which I will be going through a German intensive language training program. I will be studying at a German university in criminal justice, and I will be able to acquire an internship in criminal justice as well. After that, I plan on attending either the University of Maryland or John Jay College of Criminal Justice in Manhattan, New York, to further pursue my bachelor's in criminal justice. Thank you.
My name is Oscar Flores. I'm part of the TechMac program. I graduated the last fall in 2023. As a part of being in Montgomery College, I was the honorary TA for the same class that I was part of. After that, I also was, sorry, it's emotional. I was the honorary TA for the class that I was part of. I helped all the students that are part of this program. After the program, I got an internship in one of the first that Montgomery College provided for students like me. I started working as a part-time with a healthcare company. I also created a Power BI dashboard as a final project. After that, I was, Montgomery College offered me to be the real TA, as I say, like for the program, TechMac program in fall 2024. So I just finished being a TA for that program. I also got an opportunity from Montgomery College to work as a part-time with the implementation of a data management system for the TechMac program. And I is still being here in Montgomery College because I got an offer at a full-time position as a data coordinator for the TechMac program. And I would like to thank all of you for giving us this opportunity, my TechMac team, my students. I was a student and then I was a TA, so they were my students. And I think it's a great and a bold transformation for me, so thank you all. Now welcome to the stage to Miss Shakina Adam Gunley.
Good morning. Congratulations to our students for their outstanding accomplishments, and we wish them all the best and much success. Today, I stand before you as the 9th outgoing College Council Chair in the history of participatory governance. It has been an honor and a pleasure to represent and serve you as my peers through governance. For the last 10 years, I have participated in governance to help bring change and growth to the college in hopes of making it a better place for all of us to work and learn. I served on the Staff Council for 4 years, the Academic Services Council for 2 years, and 6 years on the College Council. I also served on the Staff Enrichment Day Committee for the last 10 years. I want to thank the 2024-2025 outgoing governance councils. Words can't express my gratitude and appreciation for your commitment to governance, our institution, and our constituents. I thank you and I appreciate you all and all that you have done this year. As the slides advance, you can see the names of the outgoing council members. As the chair of College Council, I have learned so much about the college, how the institution works, and all of the great things this college has accomplished. There are so many initiatives that have brought significant change and growth for our students and the employees. Each area of the college plays a significant role in making the college experience better for our students. Since I have been in governance, we have had 39 recommendations that have been implemented into the college operational infrastructure. Most of these recommendations have come from the hundreds of constituent concerns brought forth by you as constituents of the college. So I thank you for your input. The 2024-25 theme for the governance was bold transformations to empower all voices and thrive together. The 13 councils worked very hard to incorporate this theme into a sense of belonging for everyone at the college. This year, goals were very impactful to the work of the college. The councils donated over 500 pieces of clothing to the Spiffy Closet. All of the council had members that volunteered at the mobile markets, contributed by providing input and information, sharing to the strategic plan outcomes, and are participants of the Middle States reaccreditation work groups. The College Council also updated the governance constitution and bylaws. Our governance elections process resulted in a 13% increase in voter participation. Our Governance Awareness Day served as a vehicle for everyone to express and engage in a sense of belonging at MC. A huge expression of gratitude goes to the subcommittee of the Staff Council for the successful Staff Enrichment Day, with an attendance exceeding over 500 guests at the Germantown campus. Our feedback indicates that it was one of the best over the last few years. Our approved governance recommendations brought enhancement to the awards committee process for both faculty and staff. As you can see, governance has been working really hard this year to make sure everyone's voice has been heard. Without you, the people of this college, there would be no governance. So I ask that you consider becoming a member of governance. Help us continue the hard work that has been going forward. I found this quote that sums up being involved in governance. We cannot be mere consumers of good governance. We must be participants. We must be co-creators. And this was by Rohini Nalakani. And now I would like to welcome the 2025-2026 governance members. View their names and councils on the remaining slides. Each year, over 150 of your colleagues and students make up the roster of governance members ready and willing to serve and learn about the interworkings of the college. As members of governance, you get to see firsthand how decisions are made while also making valuable connections with students, administrators, faculty, and staff, and senior leadership and each other. I am excited and look forward to the ongoing work of governance. I welcome Dr. Paul Miller as the incoming chair, Amanda Dar as the vice chair, and John Amoroso as the secretary. Let's continue to build upon this great work, stay engaged, and bring your passion and interests and ideas to governance. Everyone is welcome to attend all governance meetings. Please refer to the meeting schedule on the college governance website. Finally, in closing, thank you to the MC community, faculty, staff, and administrators, because you all are why our students succeed. Now to the outgoing chairs, please stand so that I may recognize you for all the work that you have done this year. I just want to say thank you all for having faith in me to lead you for the last 2 years. I've created meaningful and lasting relationships with each and every one of you that I will always cherish. I will miss each and every one of you, and I hope to still see you around the various campuses. To Dr. Williams and the senior leadership, I thank you for your tutelage and guidance over the years. I value all of the advice and insight that you have given me. To Yvette Taylor, thank you for all of your support with any and everything that we as the College Council leadership team needed. I know we ran you ragged sometimes. And a special thank you to Dr. Rigard for your guidance and your continuously pushing me to do things that I was adamant that I could not do. Such as what I'm doing right now, giving a speech. You made me see the potential in me that I did not know I had, so thank you. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Stephen Kane to the stage.
Good morning. So Team Effort Awards are given to recognize the exceptional contributions of teams collaborating for the good of the college community. The awards recognize the skills and accomplishments of individuals who shared responsibilities, completed tasks, and collaborated to achieve specific goals which are beyond the scope of the unit's regular duties and responsibilities. This year, I am announcing 10 Team Effort Awards. As an award appears on the screen and you see your name, if you're able, I invite you to stand or raise your hand or wave and be recognized. In addition to the recognition and gratitude that we will express here today, each person will receive a certificate signed by the president. Those will be sent to the award nominator for distribution at a later date. All right, so the first award is for the Academic Advising Work Group team. The Academic Advising Work Group was charged with looking at recommendations from past advising groups to determine viability and provide new recommendations as the college embarks on a journey to create holistic advising, a holistic advising model. With members from across all divisions, the work group also created an implementation plan that aims to increase student retention and completion. This cross-functional team framed promising practices on advising new and returning students, implementing common academic planning tools, and expanding Starfish to all sectors of the college. Congratulations, and please join me in thanking this team. The next award is for the team that led Academic Master Plan focus groups. Before the Academic Affairs Division could begin development of the new Academic Master Plan, focus groups based on 4 goals of the strategic plan were held across the college. These focus groups included students, faculty, staff, administrators, and external community members. The 4 focus group leaders created action plans for their goal discussions and met with various groups to develop priorities, and then shared those priorities with the combined groups to gather feedback. This process provided information that guided the development of the Academic Master Plan. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the team that launched our new MyMC experience. When a vendor notified the college that it would no longer support the platform we used for MyMC, the information technology team quickly mobilized to plan an implementation of the new product, Ellucian Experience. Normally, an implementation of this magnitude and importance would take over a year, but the team accomplished it in just 3 months. Their meticulous efforts and dedication ensured a seamless transition, greatly benefiting the entire college community and giving us the new and improved MyMC we know and love today. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the team that led the work on the email security migration from Proofpoint to abnormal security. As we know too well, email remains a prime target for cyber threats by bad actors to gain access to vulnerable users and then gain access to critical organizational information. This project advanced the college's email security by migrating from Proofpoint to a new system called Abnormal Security, enhancing features for security, inbox management, and productivity. The transition, completed under a tight timeline, combined new security measures with native Microsoft tools. The team's efforts resulted in more effective and efficient security posture for email, along with a streamlined employee email experience. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. The next award is for the team that composed the guidelines for ethical sourcing and use of human anatomical material in education. This team developed new guidelines to emphasize the importance of informed consent in the process of procuring human anatomical material, and made recommendations for the ethical disposal of said material that no longer meets the needs of Montgomery College. These guidelines, the first for any community college in Maryland, also developed the best practices for instructional use, including curriculum development and integration. The dedicated efforts of the team were instrumental in setting these groundbreaking standards. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the team that led the redevelopment of the information literacy tutorial. This group completed a complex project to revitalize MC's information literacy tutorials. These tutorials support asynchronous learning and help students develop essential academic research skills, including critical thinking and ethical use of information. This was a multi-year project that required investigating a variety of technologies and collaborating with IT, website staff, and faculty. The group also investigated best practices used by other institutions and rebuilt the tutorials from scratch, incorporating new engaging educational concepts and interactive features. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the library's first annual Information Literacy Week. This library team launched the Information Literacy Week to bring greater awareness to the key lifelong skill of information literacy to the college community. Extensive marketing and outreach attracted participation to the program, which included 14 sessions across a week in September, drawing more than 260 attendees. The team included presenters from units across the college to increase engagement with topics, including a focus on media literacy, which helps students and employees discern accurate information about current events. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Before I advance to the next award, let me alert you that you're going to say, wow, to what you're about to see. It is quite the experience. I encourage you to read fast. All right. You ain't seen nothing yet. So this award goes to the team that organized and delivered the MC Experience in Worlds of Work event. The MC Experience in WOW, Worlds of Work, events held during spring break showcase Montgomery College's commitment to building a college-going culture by welcoming over 5,500 MCPS eighth graders to campus. Let me repeat that, 5,500 eighth grade students. For those of you who've been here for a while, you know that is an absolute record, something we've never done before. So this event directly supported our transformation aspiration goal of meaningful engagement with middle school students. Students explored academic program and career pathways, inspiring future enrollment. Employees from across departments collaborated to deliver interactive sessions, tours, and support services, strengthening internal partnerships. Our community partner, WorkSource Montgomery, engaged students directly, enhancing regional workforce connections. The MC Experience and Worlds of Work highlighted the college's effort in accessing access and opportunity while demonstrating the power of cross-divisional teamwork. Congratulations, and join me in saluting this group of 682 individuals. Make sure I got them all. Okay. Our next award is for putting students first, teamwork wins. From last August through March 2025, this group demonstrated outstanding teamwork in adjusting their work schedules to ensure that late afternoon and evening biology classes were supported during staff shortages. The team was committed to maintain instructional quality and prioritize student success. Each team member went above and beyond expectations, rearranging commitments for the good of the department's operations. This dedication reflects a deep sense of responsibility to student success and a deep embrace of the college's mission and values. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. And our final award today goes to the team that organized Staff Enrichment Day. Staff Enrichment Day is held each year during spring break on a rotating basis at Germantown, Rockville, and Tacoma Park Silver Spring campuses. This event includes workshops for professional and personal growth and networking. This amazing array of workshops, awards, and presentations is organized by the Staff Enrichment Day Committee. All staff members are encouraged to attend, and the committee collaborates to include second and third shift staff as well. Staff Enrichment Day enhances Montgomery College by fostering community, professional development, and belonging. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. And now please join me in welcoming Dr. Kimberly Jones.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Dr. Kimberly Jones, and I am the Interim Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer at the college. On Wednesday, April 9th, we had the honor of hosting the Excellence in Equity Award dinners for students and employees. We were joined by friends and family of the nominees, recipients, and esteemed guests, including Montgomery College President Dr. Jermaine F. Williams and former MC trustee Dr. Kenneth Hoffman. In 2019, the Office of Equity and Inclusion created the Excellence in Equity Award to recognize and celebrate students, faculty, staff, and administrators who have demonstrated exemplary accomplishments in advancing equity, inclusion, and diversity. This prestigious award is given to employees and students who embody these characteristics in their performance and service. These individuals serve as leaders through their contributions in making Montgomery College and our local communities more inclusive by creating an environment where all individuals are valued and respected. The awards committee had a challenging task in picking the winners from so many worthy nominees. Through the generous donation of Dr. Kenneth J. Hoffman, a former Montgomery College Board of Trustees member, student awardees received a cash award and a medallion, which Trustee Hoffman designed, while faculty and staff received a personalized baton which symbolizes the race for equity is ongoing and it is not completed in a silo. Now, for our Excellence in Equity Employees awardees. I would like to ask the following employees to stand at their seats to be recognized when your name is called. Please hold your applause, or not, until the end as I share information about each employee. Dr. Christine Crefton. Dr. Crefton is an Educational Resource Program Manager at Montgomery College, leading the Micro-Credentials Program and Pressbooks Coordination. She advances open education and equitable access by expanding credentialing pathways and developing open educational resources. Dr. Crefton holds a doctorate in educational leadership and management from Drexel University, specializing in organizational development and adult learning. With experience in higher education, government, and the private sector, she is passionate about lifelong learning, innovation, and creating inclusive spaces that empower all voices. Congratulations, Dr. Crefton. Anna Donahoe. Anna is an instructional designer in the Center for Teaching and Learning. She serves as the chair of MC Prides and Allies, an employee group for our LGBTQIA+ community at the college, and focused our 2024 Leadership Development Institute project on increasing the group's impact. Anna is passionate about inclusive education, community building, and demystifying technology. She speaks 3 languages and is the proud child and great-grandchild of immigrants to the United States. Thank you. Congratulations, Anna. Carl Smith. Carl, a Montgomery College full-time faculty member since 2004, teaches political science and history. With degrees from Northeastern and Simmons College, he has taught globally and across disciplines since 1996. He has led honor seminars, study abroad programs, and sister city delegations to El Salvador and China. A former department co-chair and Jefferson Cafe coordinator, he now directs the Institute for Race, Justice, and Civic Engagement. His honors include Smithsonian and Global Humanities Fellowships and an Outstanding Faculty Award. Congratulations, Carl. Dr. Cassandra Tufly. Dr. Tufly is a part-time faculty member and 2025 Smithsonian Fellow. With over a decade of experience in health disparities, youth justice, and grant-based programs, she currently serves as the task lead with the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Research and Evaluation Team, and supports federal health equity initiatives at Centers for Medicaid and Medicare. Previously, she led technical assistance and research at Advocates for Human Potential, focusing on HIV and AIDS and behavioral health. As an adjunct professor of sociology, Dr. Tufly remains committed to empowering underserved communities and mentoring future change makers. Congratulations, Dr. Tufly. Can we please give a round of applause to all of these incredible employees? Also, please join me in applauding the Excellence and Equity Committee for an exceptional job well done. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Michelle Campbell and Ms. Bernadette Maldonado to the podium.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. Yes. All right. So we're up here to share and announce the Innovation Grant Award winners for this year. And our theme this year was Achieving Student Success through Bold, Innovative, and Transformational Opportunities. This theme reflects our shared commitment to driving change and raising the bar for what is possible. Everyone in this room this morning contributed and does contribute contributes meaningfully to the transformation we are striving to achieve as an institution. With deep appreciation, I want to recognize the time, talent, and generosity that each of you bring to our work. Whether you're teaching, working behind the scenes, or supporting the college's mission through your philanthropy, your impact is vital to our students' success. Every year, more than 200 current and former Montgomery College employees choose to give back by supporting the Montgomery College Foundation. Your ongoing contributions make it possible for us to offer critical scholarships that open doors for our students and ease their financial burden. Many of you also support our Student Emergency Assistance Fund, which provides timely support to students when unexpected challenges arise. This safety net can be the difference between a student staying in school or stepping away. Your support also powers another transformative initiative, our Innovation Fund. This program encourages faculty, staff, and students to think beyond traditional boundaries, proposing innovative strategies that enhance teaching, learning, and student engagement. These ideas are student-centered, bold, and creative. Since its inception in 2017, the Innovation Fund has supported 36 projects. Today, we are proud to add 6 more to that list, bringing our total to 42 awardees, with over $500,000 in grants awarded. Before we recognize our 2025 Innovation Grant Award winners, I want to extend my sincerest thanks to Dr. Rijgaard and the members of the MC Foundation Innovation Grant Advisory Committee for their thoughtful review of the many creative and insightful submissions we received this year. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to turn it over to Bernadette Maldonado, our Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations and Executive Director of the Montgomery College Foundation, who will announce our award winners for this year.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We are delighted to announce those selected to receive the 2025-2026 Innovation Grant. When your name is announced, please join us on the stage. The first award goes to Tyranny Acosta, Kyle Farmer, and Fiona Persuade, Ugman Zuhar, and Amy Trost for their project, the Permaculture Club. Recognizing that 40% of our students struggle with food insecurity, this club will work to address this issue by establishing and maintaining 2 food forests. This project will facilitate student awareness and engagement with the ultimate goal of alleviating food insecurity, enhancing educational outcomes, and ultimately supporting student well-being. Yeah, another round of applause. That's great. right, I'm going to change the slide. The second award is presented to Nafisa Ozizi for the Innovation in 3D Printing Project. As 3D printing revolutionizes industries and across disciplines, we understand that mastering this technology will provide a competitive advantage for our in-transfer applicants and the job market. Currently, only 1.6% of MC students, engineering majors, receive formal training in this technology. The STEM ambassadors propose bi-weekly 3D printing workshops to democratize access to this transformational skill. Led by trained STEM ambassadors with faculty oversight, these workshops will develop students' technical proficiency in digital design and additive manufacturing. They will foster an equitable learning environment that prepares students for future careers where 3D printing is increasingly essential regardless of their major. Let's give her one more round of applause. Thank you. The third award is presented to Carol Jean Holness and Tara Sorobi for their project, Achieving Student Success Beyond the Classroom, a clinical nursing practicum. This elective is designed to support the scholarship of funding 20 nursing students with hands-on, immersive, hospital-based clinical experiences. The program is tailored for students in their third or final semester and focuses on serving a diverse patient population. Through structured mentorship, collaborative learning, and culturally competent care, this practicum fosters a strong sense of belonging and improves student retention and graduation rates. Students will select a specialty unit, 2 clinical facilities, enhancing their integration into a specific nursing field. Let's give them another round of applause. The fourth project selected, the Dorsey site at the Sugarland Museum, a hands-on archaeological and museum education program, was submitted by Targo Tito, Kevin Gibson, and Suzanne Johnson. This project supports a professional skills program in archaeology, collections management, and public programming. This hands-on field and museum training will provide students with one-on-one training, ensuring student success in archaeological fieldwork, mapping, and scale drawing. Do we have our award winners with us? Fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. The fifth project, DBT Therapy Group, providing a mental health resource for students at Montgomery College, was submitted by Autumn Fritz, Catherine Inalman, and Sharon Anthony. Knowing that mental health of college students has been declining for years, the dialectical behavioral therapy has been proven to treat the most common disorders with long-term effectiveness. However, treatment is expensive and inaccessible. This grant will give students this intervention at no cost, offering a bold, innovative, and transformational opportunity to ensure students have opportunities to succeed. We have one more. And the final award goes to Catherine Close in support of establishing an applied learning business suite at the college. Working together, the Departments of Business and Hospitality Management will enhance the functionality of our finance lab by establishing an applied business learning suite, which is a collection of resources designed to provide practical, hands-on experience in various business disciplines. with a primary focus will be to provide a broader range of students across the business curriculum with hands-on learning activities that require them to solve real-world scenarios using actual technologies that they will use in their future work. Do we have our award winner with us? Okay, she is not here with us, but we congratulate her anyway. Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you to this year's winners and congratulations to you. The Montgomery College Foundation congratulates you for yet another successful year. And to close, to those who give back especially, we want to take a moment to acknowledge your support, which makes a life-changing impact for our students. Thanks to you, we were able to award hundreds of scholarships in addition to food support and emergency assistance. As a thank you, we invite all of you to join us for an ice cream social after the program in the upper lobby outside of HT 216 here in Globe Hall. Ice cream on a rainy day sounds exciting. If you haven't had a chance to donate this year and would like to do so, please come talk to myself or a member of my team. We're delighted to speak with you and encourage your philanthropy. Thank you so much. And it is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Mr. Sherwin Collette, Senior Vice President for Administrative and Fiscal Services.
That applause didn't sound like you meant it. Two things before we get going. This photograph is a reminder for those of you as you use AI to tune your prompts properly. I submitted a combination of Barack Obama and Denzel Washington. I don't know what went wrong. And in the words of a favorite podcast, sit back, relax, and unwind. I'm gonna be here a while. So, good morning once again. That sounded way better. We would like to recognize the MC retirees from July 1, 2024 through April 30th, 2025. The purpose of the retirement recognition is to recognize retiring full-time faculty, regular administrators, and staff for their years of service and dedication to the college. The retirement recognition also is approved by the Board of Trustees resolution. Please join me in recognizing employees on the following slides who have served the college with enthusiasm and professionalism. And we are thankful, of course, for their dedication. It is important to wish them well, even though you may be jealous of their retirement, in their new endeavors. We have two slides. So once again, can we give a shout out for these? Like I said, it's going to be here. Now I have the privilege of presenting the NISOD Awards. The National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development, NISOD, was established in 1991 as a program that promotes and celebrates excellence in teaching, learning, and leadership at community colleges, as well as recognizing extraordinary contributions that our employees make to our students and colleagues. This is especially important as we navigate complex issues and constant change within higher education today at the local, regional, and national levels. Employees are our #1 asset, and your ongoing contributions towards student success is mightily appreciated. As recipients of a Montgomery College Outstanding Faculty Service Award, or an Outstanding Staff Service Award from the past year, you are receiving broader recognition for your accomplishments from NYSOD. Please join me in recognizing our 2025 NYSOD Excellence Award recipients on the next 4 slides. Would all NYSOD winners please stand at your seats so you can be recognized? And yes, the awards continue. It is my pleasure to present the Outstanding Staff Awards. Outstanding Staff Awards provide the college community with an opportunity to recognize excellence in a variety of positions at the college and add a special dimension to the awards the college already provides. Award categories for staff include excellence in innovation, performance, and customer service. Would the following person come to the stage and receive your certificate as I read some additional details? The first is the Outstanding Staff Award for Excellence in Innovation, and that goes to Elizabeth Slack. Now, Elizabeth, don't go away. You have a prize photo with me in a moment. Elizabeth has played a pivotal role in enhancing our library's collection through her meticulous attention to detail and deep understanding of our patrons' needs. This past year, Elizabeth led the inaugural Information Literacy Week, curated a popular local history collection, and improved the library's overall offerings through strategic projects. Yes. Now you may. The next award is for Outstanding Staff Award is for Excellence in Performance. With the following persons listed on the slide above, please come to the stage and receive your certificate. Kindly remain on stage for a group picture. Saleh Ahmed consistently goes above and beyond in maintaining and organizing the labs, creating a more effective and accessible learning environment for students. His excellent communication and collaborative attitude make him a valuable partner to staff and faculty. John Amoroso. John has led impactful innovations at Montgomery College by streamlining systems, enhancing digital accessibility, and improving program operations to boost efficiency and student support. His strong commitment to community and service is evident through his leadership in governance and the Montgomery College Rising Professionals Association, MCPRA, where he strengthened engagement and fostered meaningful connections among faculty and staff. Tom Cantu. Tom has demonstrated exceptional leadership in advancing instructional support, particularly through his innovative contributions to online teaching and faculty development. He led the redesign of online teaching training, supported the MC Online initiative, and promoted adoption of instructional technologies like Blackboard Ultra and Usual. Anna Donahoe. Anna has played a pivotal role in course design at Montgomery College, leading the transition to Blackboard Learn Ultra by building accessible, high-quality course sections and developing instructional resources that empower faculty with effective teaching tools. In addition to her instructional leadership, Anna actively serves the college through her work with MC Pride and Allies, mentoring members and fostering inclusion, and by organizing vital service initiatives like the multiple campus blood drive. The next award, Outstanding Staff Award, is for we would like to flip the page. How about if I did that? The Outstanding Staff Award for Excellence in Performance. With the following individuals listed on the slide above, come to the stage and receive your certificate. Please remain on stage for a group picture. Nicole Land. Nicole provides critical administrative and operational support to over 90 faculty, staff, and administrators within the Student Access Unit while managing fiscal oversight for a $1.3 million budget. Her dedication is demonstrated through her active involvement in Montgomery College's Rising Professionals Association, MCPRA, and Vice Chair of the Community Engagement and Events Committee, as well as the leadership role in the American Association of Women in Community Colleges, where she contributes to the planning and execution of impactful programs and community engagement efforts. Yuling May. Or as she's known to me, Ling, successfully manages the $20 million renovation of the East County Education Center, led the Rockville Campus Center roof replacement project, and achieved substantial energy savings, demonstrating a strong commitment to sustainability. In addition to these large projects, Ling continues to enhance campus infrastructure while ensuring inclusive and efficient design. Ifan Naventranun. Ifan is a highly dependable and skillful team member who manages departmental resources responsibly and upholds the highest standards of service. She's played a crucial role in supporting the entire department during a staffing transition, demonstrating flexibility and dedication. Her integrity, adherence to policies, and commitment to creating a supportive environment make her an invaluable asset to the team. Carrie Norberg. Over the past year, Carrie successfully led the timely completion of the facilities master plan, guiding the strategic vision for the college's infrastructure. Additionally, she has overseen the $16.4 million renovation of the Tacoma Park Silver Spring Resource Center Library and managed upgrades to 62 classrooms, all completed on schedule. With the following persons listed on the slide above, come to the stage to receive your certificates and kindly remain for that fabulous group photo. Michelle Pagan. Michelle has demonstrated exceptional professionalism, technical expertise, and attention to detail. She plays a critical role in reviewing and refining Board of Trustees resolutions, ensuring accuracy, clarity, and adherence to standards, personally contributing to success of over 95 resolutions that were approved by the Board of Trustees in FY24, and happens to have the torturous responsibility of supporting me. Shumeiren. Shumeiren has been instrumental in ensuring consistency and quality across science labs at the Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus by standardizing equipment. When a critical item couldn't be sourced, Dr. Wren took the initiative to learn 3D printing and produce the equipment herself. Her dedication to service is evident in her inflexible support and faculty assistance with student-focused events and a vital role in the department's smooth transition to the new Leggett building. Clint Wu. Clint's leadership in the design projects keen attention to detail, and contributions to branding, marketing strategy, and collaborative culture have left a lasting impact on the institution. Clint stepped in at a critical moment to prepare a consequential presentation for high-level stakeholders and ultimately delivered a polished and strategic slide deck under significant pressure and tight deadlines. How we're doing? And now, the Outstanding Staff Award for Excellence in Serving Students. Will the following person come to the stage and receive your certificate and remain on stage for the group picture? Sam Ong. Sam's exceptional organizational skills, deep institutional knowledge, and responsiveness enable him to expertly navigate complex college systems and ensure smooth departmental operations. Beyond his day-to-day responsibility, Sam ensures a sense of belonging through his dedication and his mentorship of student aides and his active involvement in student clubs. Delki Jayu Sekura. Delki's warmth, dedication, and tireless support create a welcoming space in the Science Learning Center. Here, students find both academic help and a kind, listening ear. Through thoughtful touches like decorations and bringing baked goods, Pie Day, and finals week review sessions, Delki's transformation of the Science Learning Center into a place that feels like home for students, faculty, and staff alike. Sean Roberts. Sean has expanded his role as an IT service and support technician by taking the lead in managing college-wide IT systems, including the employee printing platform, Printalogic, and the newly adopted student printing platform, Papercut. Additionally, well, don't cut yourself. Additionally, as an IT administrator for the Windows Device Management System, Alturas, Sean plays a crucial role in maintaining hardware and software for Windows-based devices across the Rockville campus and beyond. Lastly, we want to acknowledge the people who have been approved for staff and department chair professional development leave. Will these persons stand at your seats when your name is called, and please hold the applause until the end? Dr. Laura Anna. Newly minted Dr. Sophia Mason. Chris Mitchell. Mia Price, and Angela Rowe. Thank you for sharing that applause. I don't have to say, let's give them all a staff round of applause. It is in fact now my pleasure, I didn't get the memo about red, to welcome the ladies in red, Drs. Kimberly McNair and Deidre Price, to the stage.
Good morning again. Montgomery College is fortunate to have so many dedicated, engaged, passionate faculty to support students on their academic pathways. These awards highlight several outstanding representatives of our faculty, both in academic and student affairs. Please come forward as your name is mentioned and receive your award. For excellence in service to the institution and/or the community awards, we have 2 awardees, and please remain on the stage while we take your photo. Dr. Glenda Hernandez-Tittle, part of her work with teacher certification programs was her developing the groundbreaking Alternative Certification for Effective Teachers, ACET program. She has served as Senior Program Director for the Early Childhood Alternative Certification Program. Beyond this, she has been part of institutional initiatives, including the Hispanic Serving Institution Task Force and the Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Center. Congratulations, Dr. Hernandez-Tittle. And next, I'd like to talk a little bit about Professor Darren Smith. Professor Smith is widely recognized by students as an outstanding instructor who teaches a broad range of mathematics courses in all 3 modalities. He has also participated in the Summer Bridge program for the first-year experience, served as a chair of chairs for the Germantown campus, and delivered laptops to students' homes during the pandemic. Congratulations, Professor Smith. I learned my lesson. I'm not clicking until I announce it. And then All right, so our next award is for excellence in scholarly or professional accomplishments for full-time faculty. And we will call a couple of awardees and ask them to remain on stage for the group picture. Please join us on stage, Dr. Maria Spren and Professor Brian Tillman. As a professor of anthropology, Dr. Spren combines academic rigor with innovative pedagogy and unwavering commitments to uplifting diverse voices. Beyond her extensive service to the college, Dr. Spren's impact extends throughout Montgomery County. Her extensive research on immigrant communities has resulted in the Montgomery County Immigrant Archive and the online exhibition, The Immigrant Experience in Montgomery County, Maryland. Congratulations, Dr. Spren. Professor Brian Tillman's expertise in visual storytelling and sequential art has been a valuable asset to the illustration program at Montgomery College, where many of our students pursue careers in comic book arts, children's book illustration, and animation, all fields that demand a strong foundation in sequential design and narrative illustration. At Montgomery College, he created and organizes the ongoing Living Sketchbook Project, an evolving collection showcasing student creativity since 2022. He is also the creator, writer, and illustrator of the independent comic book series, Ninja Empire. Congratulations, Professor Tillman. Thank you both. now pleased to present the Excellence in Teaching or Counseling Academic Advising for Part-Time Faculty Awards. Please welcome Professor Juan Esparza Trujillo to the stage, and Tabitha Gananamani, and also Nicole Andrea Procaro, and Colleen King. All right. So we'll start with Professor Juan Esparza Trujillo. As a former student, his connection to Montgomery College runs deep, owing much of his professional success to the higher education community that helped him get started in the biotechnology field. With a strong background in biotechnology, regulatory science, and biomedical research, he effectively bridges theoretical concepts with real-world applications, while creating an engaging and dynamic learning environment with active learning strategies. Congratulations. Dr. Pabitha Gananamani is both a professor in the Chemical and Biological Sciences Department and an ATPA coach. She works with her students so they can develop the tools needed outside of the classroom so they can succeed in the classroom. Her passion and unwavering commitment to creating an interactive and dynamic classroom offer her students innovative and engaging strategies. Congratulations. Professor Colleen King's approach to teaching in the English and Reading Department is deeply student-centered, integrating interactive activities, collaborative exercises, and structured writing development into her instruction, fostering an environment where students are both challenged and supported. As one of the most sought-after embedded coaches at the college, she not only provides invaluable guidance to students, but also mentors fellow coaches in her role as an ATPA embedded coaching specialist. Congratulations. Through Professor Nicole Andrea Picaro's dynamic lectures, interactive activities, and humorous anecdotes, she creates a lively learning environment where students are eager to participate. Here's a quote. Her worldly nature is especially important when it's taken into account that over 1,000 MC students are out-of-country students. Last semester, we had a few non-native speakers. They were not scared to participate or share their ideas. No one was. Professor Picaro's class was a welcoming hub of knowledge, ideas, and aspirations. Congratulations.
The next awardees are acknowledged for excellence in teaching or counseling academic advising for full-time faculty. Will awardees on this slide remain on stage for a group picture? First, please welcome Professor Ali Alavi as he joins us here on stage. Professor Alavi's teaching exemplifies the transformative power of education. He brings complex business concepts to life through real-world experiences, case studies, and integrated learning experiences. His innovative work blending business studies with general education courses, such as incorporating themes from Art 127 or Business Administration 101, has enriched students' understanding of leadership and entrepreneurship through the lens of art. Congratulations, Professor Alavi. Professor Pallavi Bal, a visionary educator, Professor Bal co-authored the College Calculus Preparation Book, originally designed to support high school students in the early college summer prep program. Its effectiveness has since extended its use to a broader student population, demonstrating her deep understanding of student needs and her proactive approach to ensuring academic readiness. Congratulations, Professor Bal. Dr. Maria Brunet. Dr. Brunet is a dedicated educator whose contributions to the mathematics, statistics, and data science department over the past 30 years have been immeasurable. She is a mentor to students and faculty alike, and a leader both in her department and college-wide. She is currently working with the Curriculum Committee to ensure the college's math teacher preparation courses are both accessible and relevant to early childhood and elementary education majors. Congratulations, Dr. Brunnen. Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Theron Coleman to the stage. Described by a colleague as a transformative educator whose dedication, innovation, and mentorship have profoundly impacted our students and faculty alike. Dr. Coleman has been a professor of English and integrated English reading and writing coordinator at the college since 2020. She co-founded the Sister to Sister program, creating a space for young African American women to explore literature, engage in meaningful discussions, and receive empowering mentorship. She also launched Get Lit, a reading focus group that addresses themes of trauma through African American literature. Congratulations, Dr. Coleman. Now I ask Professor Lavina De La Rosa to join us here. Professor De La Rosa has served the college in a variety of roles, including discipline coordinator for psychology and most recently interim chair for education and psychology. A former student writes, Professor De La Rosa has had an immeasurable impact on our students' lives. Many of us have faced academic challenges, moments of self-doubt, and uncertainty about our futures. In those moments, she has been there, not just as a professor, but as a mentor who listens, encourages, and pushes us to realize our full potential. Congratulations, Professor De La Rosa. Dr. Kimberly George, please join us here on stage. As the Tacoma Park Silver Spring Chemical and Biological Sciences Department representative for the Career Readiness Workshop, she successfully developed a discipline-wide approach to embedding career awareness into gateway courses for biological sciences with a prototype assignment designed for Biology 150. With this initiative set to scale to full departmental implementation next fall, her work will have a lasting and far-reaching impact on student success. Congratulations, Dr. George. Please welcome Dr. Evokia Castanos to the stage. As a dedicated educator and Biology 150 course coordinator, Dr. Castanos exemplifies the highest standards of instructional excellence, consistently enriching the academic experience for both students and colleagues. Her passion for hands-on learning is demonstrated through her leadership in bringing the C-Phages program to Montgomery College, a 2-semester discovery-based undergraduate research course being piloted in Biology 150 and 151 courses. Congratulations, Dr. Castanos. Professor Megan von Wagener, please join us here. A pillar of both the ceramics and the digital arts programs, she brings remarkable versatility to an interdisciplinary department. Her courses, ranging from Ceramics 1 to an upper-level graphic design, consistently reflect a balance of high academic standards, technical rigor, and creative freedom. Most notably, she authored an exceptional distance learning section of digital tools for the visual arts, skillfully translating a dense and foundational curriculum into a format that is both accessible and engaging. Congratulations, Professor Van Wagener. Please join me in welcoming Professor Norma Winfeld to the stage. Since officially joining the department as a full-time counselor in 2017, she has demonstrated exceptional leadership and an unwavering commitment to student success. As chair of academic regulations, Professor Winfeld oversaw the passage of more than 17 regulations, a record-setting achievement for the college. Her efforts to revise the academic appeal standards have streamlined processes, enhanced efficiency, and significantly improved the student experience. Her expertise in areas such as international student support, institutional regulations, and academic appeals has made her an indispensable resource within the department. Congratulations, Professor Winfeld.
All right, and now it is our pleasure to share the sabbatical awardees for the next academic year. Please stand at your seat when we call your name. Oh yeah, it's already up there. Cinder Barnes, Kevin Bowman, Catalina Satina, Eddie Enriquez Arana,
Rashi Jane, Michael LeBlanc, Elizabeth Mellinson, Stacy Peterson.
Congratulations to you all. We celebrate you today. And let's welcome Dr. Williams back to the stage to present the final awards of the program.
All right, let's give all our faculty and staff a round of applause. And we're almost there, but I'd be remiss, I think, about faculty and staff and our, how many people have ever engaged in any MC wellness opportunities from HR STEM? Raise your hand, raise your hand. All right, so people know Megan. Is Megan here? All right, I'm gonna hone my inner Megan. I'm gonna hone, because people have been sitting for too long, right? So we're gonna still kind of like, all right, we're gonna go kind of this, that, or neither, really quickly. So stand if you would prefer coffee over tea. Stand if you prefer coffee over tea. All right, stand. All right, sit down. Stand if you prefer tea over coffee. All right, sit down. Stand if you don't care. You don't have a preference. Stand if you don't have a preference. All right, one more time, maybe two. Stand if you prefer cats over dogs. Cat people. All right, sit down. We can't be friends. All right. Stand if you prefer dogs over cats. Yeah! All right. Stand if you do not want either of them anywhere around you. All right, we got some movement. People got to stand. Wonderful. Make sure people are up and around. All right, good. Fantastic. I now have the privilege of announcing the Administrator Leadership Award to 3 outstanding administrators. And yeah, all right. Adam Reed, since joining, you can give another round of applause. Adam Reed. Since joining Montgomery College, Adam Reed has transformed the institution's public safety operations. He led the reorganization of the Office of Safety and Security, once a facility subunit, into the comprehensive Office of Public Safety, Health, and Emergency Management. Psha. Establishing, it's a real thing. Don't laugh. Establishing a true campus police force with arrest authority. He created the college's first emergency manager role and spearheaded the centralization of services. Mr. Reed standardized uniforms, procedures, and communications, including creating a central dispatch unit that unified radio systems and incorporated live video monitoring. He identified and addressed major security gaps, securing more than $500,000 in grant funding to expand the college's camera system and patrol fleet. Mr. Reed also built a state-approved Special Police Officer SPO Training Academy in collaboration with the Workforce Development Division and launched mandatory annual in-service training to professionalize the department. His, quote, ambassadors of the badge, end quote, initiative emphasized community engagement, improving officer visibility, and public perception. Mr. Reed forged partnerships with local police, fire, and emergency services, implementing real-time notifications for incidents across locations. Most recently, his forward-thinking leadership introduced license plate readers and incorporated additional functions like transportation, parking, and access control into the Office of Public Safety, Health, and Emergency Management. Adam Reed's innovations have led to substantial improvements in safety, fostering a more secure environment for the entire community. Under his leadership, team morale and accountability have risen markedly, establishing a culture of excellence within his units. These efforts have positioned the Office of Public Safety, Health, and Emergency Management as a model of proactive safety and leadership, earning high praise in recent climate surveys. Let's give Mr. Adam Reed a round of applause. I think we're all together. Yeah, we're all together. Photos all together. We're there. All right, here we go. Elena Sines. Dr. Sines has demonstrated visionary leadership in orchestrating two landmark initiatives, Worlds of Work and the MC Experience, which brought more than 5,500 eighth grade students from Montgomery County Public Schools to our locations. These events were more than just large in scale, they were transformative in purpose, directly advancing Montgomery College's mission of access and aligning with both our strategic plan and Maryland's blueprint for Maryland's future. At the Rockville location, the Worlds of Work event, hosted in partnership with WorkSource Montgomery and Montgomery County Public Schools, immersed students in hands-on, career-focused sessions led by local employers and supported by our faculty. Meanwhile, the MC Experience at Germantown and Tacoma Park Silver Spring locations offered engaging tours and academic showcases designed to spark early interest in college. These initiatives engaged more than 600 Montgomery College staff and faculty and 200 businesses, but the strategic coordination and sustained vision behind them belongs to Dr. Sines. For nearly a year, she united internal departments and external partners with remarkable clarity and purpose, ensuring a seamless and impactful experience for all involved. Most importantly, Dr. Sines' leadership in helping close opportunity gaps for the 28% of MCPS students who do not pursue a credit-bearing post-secondary education within 2 years of graduation. Her tireless commitment to student-centered, equity-driven collaboration has set a new standard for outreach and partnership at Montgomery College. Please join me in celebrating Dr. Elena Sines for her exceptional leadership and lasting impact on the community. Congratulations, Dr. Sines. Suzette Spencer. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, she's not, okay, all right. Will not be present is in my notes. I was just so excited. The applause made me think, all right. Suzette Spencer, Director of Libraries at Montgomery College, has dedicated tireless efforts and outstanding leadership in the comprehensive renovation of the Tacoma Park Silver Spring location library, a project that has meaningfully advanced the college's mission of student success and academic excellence. Her visionary and student-focused approach transformed not just the physical space, but the entire learning environment of the location. Ms. Spencer skillfully managed a highly complex, multi-departmental initiative that required collaboration with facilities management, the Office of Information Technology, the Budget Office, and various academic departments. She ensured broad input, fostering a truly inclusive and cross-functional planning process. One of her most significant achievements was maintaining uninterrupted library services during the renovation. She led the relocation to a temporary swing space that preserved essential study and research services for students and faculty, including group and individual learning areas. Throughout the renovation, Ms. Spencer placed the student needs at the center of every decision. The final space reflects her commitment to accessibility, technological enhancement, and flexible study options designed to support diverse learning styles. Her leadership directly resulted in a modern, student-centric library that enhances academic engagement. Ms. Spencer also empowered her staff by encouraging active participation in the project, cultivating a sense of ownership and pride. Her collaborative and empathetic leadership style helped unify the library team on a shared vision for the future. Suzette Spencer's dedication to collaboration across all our locations, innovation in student service delivery, and her unwavering focus on student success is commendable. Congratulations, Ms. Spencer, on this accomplishment that will leave a lasting impact on our community. All right. Wonderful. Such excellent, dedicated administrator, staff, and faculty and talent at MC. Lastly, I am here to present the final awards of the program. Yes, staff, part-time faculty, and full-time faculty member of the year awards. Applause. Let's do it. All right. While several of these individuals will not be here, we are recording, so let's share these words and applaud them because they deserve it. Right. All right. Miss Cynthia Lee Morris. Yeah. My great pleasure to present this year's Staff of the Year Award to Miss Cynthia Lee Morris, Training and Development Coordinator. Cynthia Morris has become one of Montgomery College's most impactful professional development facilitators, empowering countless faculty and staff through dynamic programs. Her classes focused on leadership, communication, supervision, and productivity are consistently among the most highly regarded offerings at the college. Her attention to detail, initiative, and commitment to excellence are reflected in her ability to streamline complex processes and implement improvements that benefit both her team and the larger college community. Ms. Morris creates a welcoming, supportive learning environment where participants feel safe to engage, collaborate, and grow. Her sessions are intentionally structured to allow individuals to build meaningful connections through group activities and shared learning experiences. Even those who are typically reserved find themselves contributing confidently, thanks to the sense of camaraderie she cultivates. She is also highly adaptable, tailoring her approach to meet the unique needs of each group and individual. At the heart of her facilitation style is a deep commitment to growth. Ms. Morris gently but firmly pushes participants. I heard the chuckles. Some people have been in rooms, all right. Confirmation, facts. Ms. Morris gently but firmly pushes participants to reflect on what they are learning through, among other things, her famous aha moments. She provides thoughtful, honest feedback, sometimes weeks after the class has concluded, helping learners make meaningful connections between theory and practice. Her communication style, clear, candid, and always respectful, ensures participants feel both challenged and supported. What distinguishes Ms. Morris is her remarkable ability to inspire self-awareness, collaboration, and real-world application. Her consistent excellence, coupled with her ability to model effective communication and foster meaningful interaction, exemplifies the Montgomery College spirit. Cynthia Morris is a driving force behind Montgomery College's employee development success, and her contributions have left a lasting mark on the college community. Please join me congratulating Cynthia Morris as the 2025 Staff of the Year awardee. And now for the Part-Time Faculty of the Year award. All right, please. I know he was supposed to be here, and unfortunately, something happened. So, Mr. Michael McDavid. Let's give him a round of applause. It is my great pleasure to present this year's Part-Time Faculty of the Year award, as you heard, to Professor W. Michael McDavid. Professor McDavid has been an extraordinary force in the biology department since 2015, transforming environmental biology from a course that many non-science majors once dreaded into one of the most inspiring and impactful learning experiences at Montgomery College. His students describe him as nothing short of life-changing, someone whose teaching has sparked new passions, changed majors, and set students on entirely new career paths in environmental research and conservation. With a remarkable 38-year career at the Environmental Protection Agency and a deep academic background in environmental science and policy, Professor McDavid brings a rare blend of real-world experience and classroom innovation. He engages students through citizen science projects, immersive field trips, and hands-on learning that connect textbook lessons to the living world around them. Beyond the classroom, Mr. McDavid's dedication is unmatched. He has led Renaissance Scholars hikes, organized the Great Backyard Bird Count, facilitated EPA career panels, and even written haiku to celebrate his students' achievements. His interdisciplinary approach, blending science, policy, and even poetry, creates a dynamic, inclusive, and joyful learning environment. What truly sets Professor McDavid apart is his unwavering commitment to his students. He not only teaches, he mentors, and he empowers. His students describe him as compassionate, attentive, and encouraging. As one student put it, quote, I would like to say thank you for stating your belief in my capability to me. It changed how I looked at college, and I've always told everyone that my bio professor was responsible for my turnaround. Yeah. It's inspired me to always put my heart into what matters in life. I am now applying to nursing schools this semester, end quote. Yeah. Today, we proudly recognize Professor McDavid not only for his excellence in teaching, but for his lasting impact he has made on his students, colleagues, and our college community. Please join me again in congratulating Professor W. Michael McDavid, the 2025 Part-Time Faculty of the Year awardee. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? All right. And now, for the final award, Full-Time Faculty Member of the Year award. Round of applause. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Angela K. Nissing. I know you're here. I know you're here. I'm sorry. Right. See, if you're here, I was like, I know you're here. I saw you earlier. I met your son. I was like, if you're here, you get to stand up here while I say all these great things about you. So tell your friends. That's how it works. All right. Here we go. It's my great pleasure to present this year's Full-Time Faculty of the Year award to Dr. Angela K. Nissing, a professor in the English language for academic purposes program at Montgomery College. For nearly 2 decades, yeah. Dr. Nissing has been a driving force in advancing student success, faculty development, and institutional improvement. Since joining Montgomery College full-time in 2006, she has combined visionary leadership with a deep commitment to students, transforming the student experience both inside and outside the classroom. Most notably, Dr. Nissing led the groundbreaking redesign of the college's ASL placement process. Yes, yes. What was once a stressful standardized testing system is now an inclusive student-centered process that builds confidence and creates a sense of belonging. Under her leadership, more than 6,000 students have been placed through this welcoming system since 2020. Helping students launch their academic journeys with both clarity and support. In addition to her leadership and placement, Dr. Nissing served for 9 years as department chair, guiding faculty through major curricular and structural changes with transparency, collaboration, and care. As a faculty member, she is beloved for creating a classroom environment where students feel both challenged and supported, blending high standards with deep compassion. As one student wrote, quote, "What I admire most about Professor Nissing is her honesty. She openly shares her life experiences with us, showing us the realities of her journey and teaches us invaluable lessons through her personal growth. Her humility and authenticity are traits that inspire me." End quote. Yes, yes. Her scholarship, including a doctorate in educational leadership and management and national presentations on student success, further amplifies her impact on the field. Colleagues, students, and leaders alike praise Dr. Nissing for her tireless dedication, integrity, and authenticity. In short, Dr. Angela Nissing embodies the very best of Montgomery College. An educator, an innovator, a mentor, and an advocate who transforms lives every day. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Angela K. Nissing as a full-time faculty member of the year. Now I welcome back to the stage Germantown Campus Dean, Ms. Sharon Anthony.
Wow, that was wonderful. Well, congratulations again to our many outstanding students, governance council members, teams, innovators, retirees, staff, administrators, and faculty. Congratulations again. You all make MC the best community college with the power to transform lives. And because of you all here and online today, you help students discover their strengths, their talents, their career goals, and their dreams. And with your help, those dreams become their realities. So we appreciate all of our awardees today and all of you in Globe Hall and online. And we really appreciate you all making our students' lives and their family lives better. I personally hope all of you make the time this summer, whenever you can, to recharge yourself, relax, play, reconnect with family and friends, and rediscover your own dreams and talents. Please, you can see the QR code here for the details about the schedule, and thank you for your time this morning. Please join us for a fantastic ice cream social upstairs in the lobby, thanks to the MC Foundation. Have a great rest of your summer. Bye-bye.